What's up, everyone? What's going on, Eagles Nation? All the NFL fans out there. Um, so we are now in the first week of training camp, 2017, and of course the Eagles are, just started on Monday. Excited for another season, and I'm excited for another season of the fan series. Season 4, my goodness, next year's going to be up to 5. Woo! And I'm hoping that this season, for the first time, I get to bring you some videos in the playoffs, because I haven't been able to do that yet. Of course, last 2 years under Chip, and then last year with Doug Peterson. But I love the direction that this team's going in, man. You know what? And I will always say this to those of you who might be new to my channel, might be new to the series. I'm an Eagle. I do different things in this channel, of course, with the throwback jersey collecting, and that's still a great love of mine. But every year for the Eagles, because I've been a fan of this team since 1993. I live in the Philly area, and I started doing this series 3 years ago, 3 seasons back. It was Chip's second year, and because I always wanted to do something, about that, and mix it up on the channel a little bit. So I did that, and I went through the season. I had a blast with it. I really had a lot of fun, and didn't end too well that year. Then the next year, of course, and last season, of course, new beginnings, new coach, new quarterback, everything. But I have a lot of fun doing this, and you're kind of seeing from the ground floor going up, right? So you kind of see the build of this team after the Chip Kelly years, all the mistakes that were made there. But the one thing I will say to people who might know me from seasons past, people who might be new, I always keep it 100%. I shoot from the heart. I tell you how it is. I don't pull punches. If I don't like something this team is doing, I'll let you. I might not have EDP rants. I've had some rants, though, in some videos. Not full-out EDP-esque rants, but rants nonetheless. But I always tell you how I feel, and I will always tell you how I feel. Hey, I'm a fan. I'm not a coach. I'm not I'm not a analyst. But I'm a fan, and I speak as a fan. I've watched this game for a long time, and I know a good amount about this game, but I can't profess that I'm an expert, I'm not. But I know enough about this game to know how you win in this game. I see teams that win, how they build their teams. I see how the Eagles are building their team right now, and I think they're on the right path. Obviously, we haven't won that ultimate goal prize, the Lombardi Trophy, yet. Eagles, I like to still remind people, have won 3 championships. Might not be Lombardis, but they were championships. And if you say otherwise, you just talk to the players who played back then, and they'll tell you. I mean, some of the greats to ever play the game never won a championship. Some of the greats to ever play the game didn't even make the playoffs back then. Dick Butkus, Gale Sayers, pretty good, right? Sayers never made the playoffs back then. So you ask those guys what it would have meant to at least make the playoffs, let alone win a championship. But I digress from that. Listen, this is a proud franchise, and this is a proud fan base. And I'm not a member of the TTC. I don't have the time to do that. I have great respect for the people who do. I love what they do. The videos are always entertaining. I watch a good amount of them. Shout out to the Philly Knights. You guys make great videos, and you hold it down for Eagles Nation very well. I enjoy watching, my fellow Eagle video makers, the videos, because, like me, there's a lot of passion that goes in it. And I know there's passion when you're a fan of any team in this league, because it's a short season, it's 16 games, it's 1 game a week, and it's a lot of fun. And sometimes it can be very miserable. I have seen everything you can see in an NFL with an NFL team besides winning a championship. And like I said, I've watched this team since they were wearing those colors over there, the Kelly Greens, which I do hope they go to as an alternate uniform at some point down the road, if not this season, maybe, in the seasons to come. But again, You see a lot with this team, and I've been through everything. I've been through the ups and downs. I've been, disappointed after a tough Super Bowl loss. I've been disappointed in NFC title game losses. I've been happy, when they beat the Falcons in the title game those years ago. And of course, having just dramatic seasons. I mean, out of nowhere seasons. Uh, 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 you know, the gamut of emotions have all been run. With me. And in 3 years of doing this series, you've seen that. You've seen that in the videos. Now this year, I'm hoping to bring a little more. I know in a recent year, in other years, I haven't really done more, but the one video a week. This season, I hope to bring a little more in week. Looking forward to the games. I don't know if I can ever truly do video during a game. I almost wish that I had one of those NFL Films film crews with me to do all the grunt work, and do all that great editing and everything. I would love that. I love those series. I love the Hard Knocks series, and of course the Amazon series, the All or Nothing series. It's just great, to kind of go into and see, the inner workings and see the coaches and see the players and preparations and everything, and during the games and the sidelines and everything. I think it's just awesome, and also seeing the players in their family life, when they're away from football. I love those kind of documentaries. There's even a really good one on Netflix. It's Last Chance U. I just finished watching season 2. It's another great series. Not NFL. It's a community college, but it's a great series, and I definitely recommend it. It's in season 2 now. They just put it out, and it's just fun to follow a team around. It's fun to follow a team around and go through a season, with that. So I always like those kind of documentaries. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this season of the Fan Series when I did 3 years ago. Because I wanted to kind of take anyone who wanted to watch it into what it was to be a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. And even if you're not an Eagles fan, to kind of see what that is. Because we're really labeled a lot of different ways. Not all of them positive. So I wanted to try to debunk some of that and just, show you what it is to be an Eagles fan. And now that I'm doing this in my 4th season, obviously doing it, I'm hoping to bring a little more to you than just the X's and O's and trying to break down the games. I want you to, see what it is to go through a season with me as an Eagles fan, and bring a little more of that to you. I don't know though if I can ever do in-game stuff, because when I'm watching a game, I'm just into the game. I'm so in tune to the game, even if they're losing. I'm just so in tune to it, because this is a 16-game season, and it's like every game is important. Every game has ramifications, particularly early and mid in the season. Playoff jockeying and all that stuff, or do we have a shot? So. And obviously watching the players. Last year we had a rookie quarterback, Carson Wentz, and then a rookie, coach, and all the nuances that came with that. So you didn't really want to turn away. You just had to just stay in tune to it. It was tough at times. There were games that, the Bengals game comes to mind. But, that's what you do as a fan. You stick there. And, so I don't know if I can truly ever do the in-game stuff, unless I'm like out somewhere, like a sports bar or something, watching. I can do some filming, or maybe if I'm with a group of friends here or whatever, watching a game, maybe a little. But when it's just me and the TV. I'm just tuned into the game, whether it's with the commentators on TV, or it's right here with the Merle and Mike on the radio. I'm just in tune to the game, and I don't really want to have to worry about filming or whatever. I just want to be one with the game. So whether or not I'll have in-game footage, I just don't know. I don't want to guarantee that right now. I tried that once. It was very difficult. In my first year of doing it, it was a game against the Redskins at home, but I just it's just not something I think I could really fully do. But I do try to break down the games afterwards. I do try to, give as best as my, take on the game, good or bad. And I'm not an expert, I'm not a coach or anything. I'm a fan. And I can only break it down as a fan. I've never played the game. I never suited up. I played flag football in college. That was the extent of it. But so I can't profess as talking, from someone who actually played the game. But I've watched this game for many years, and like I said, I have some level of knowledge, and I like I said, I certainly know when those teams start putting teams together to win. Um, Obviously, I certainly understand and see how they do it, and like I said, how the Eagles are doing it now, they're on the right path. Now, will it ultimately take them to the great game and to the, hope finally hoisting up in Lombardi? Hey, I mean, if the Cubs can win a World Series, right? I mean, anything's possible, right? Kevin Garnett said that anything's possible. So hey, you gotta grasp at something, right? But I do think they're on the right path. I love what they've done on the offense and defensive lines. I mean, you win this game in the trenches. Anyone who knows anything about football knows that. You can have the greatest collection of skilled players in the world. If your offensive line sucks, it's not going to matter. You can have the greatest collection of shutdown corners and safeties on the planet, the Legion of Doom, right? But if that defensive line isn't doing their job, if the linebackers aren't doing their job, it's not going to matter. So you got to win this game in the trenches, and that's one of the things the Eagles were, set out to do this offseason. Get depth, and also add some pieces that are going to help the defensive and offensive lines, and I think they did a great job. I love the fact they went out and they were aggressive, getting playmakers for Carson Wentz. Listen, if you're going to have a franchise quarterback, you got to give him some toys, okay? Will it all work out? Look, I mean, on paper everything looks great, but you have to play the game. You have to get through the training camp and the preseason healthy, and then get through the season as healthy as you can. And if you do that and win enough games, well, darn, you're in the playoffs. And anything can happen there. So I'm feeling good right now. I got good vibes for this team right now, obviously, going forward. I think they had a great offseason. I love what they did in the draft right here in Philly. I love what they did in free agency. I was surprised, right? With the cap space that they had, they were able to do all that. Well, Howie somehow did it, right? And I'm glad with the moves they made. Now, look, I mean, there's still a lot that has to happen, right? Doug Peterson has to learn from the mistakes he made a season ago, particularly some of the play calling. Got to get better on that. The receivers, hopefully, will do a little better at catching the ball. Zach Ertz has to be more consistent at tight end. He's going to be one of the main focuses as far as weapons go on this offense, and he's got to get more consistent. I love the addition of LeGarrette Blount. They got a short yardage back. They got a power back that doesn't fumble at the wrong times. Okay, so we hope. And I'm happy with what they've done. I think all the moves were calculated. I think all the moves were on point. And right now it's about putting it together. And obviously they have to gel well. I like the fact that all the receivers were willing to meet up with Carson in North Dakota. A lot of them their first trip there, but they did that, and you got to find that rapport. I'm even happy with the fact that, and I know there were some people who were speculating, oh, Jordan Matthews, is he going to be traded or whatever? But I love the fact that if he's not, I don't think they should trade him. I love the fact that he's going back to being a slot receiver. He was a slot receiver his rookie year. He had a very good rookie season. A little inconsistent since that. He had to be the guy because Chip Kelly's an idiot. And decided we don't need Deshaun and Jeremy anymore. Who needs them? Who needs them? Yeah. What's Chip doing these days? Okay. But anyhow, he doesn't have to be the guy. I mean, you have Alshon Jeffrey on one side and Torrey Smith on the other, and now you have Jordan Matthews back in the slot, which is his natural position as a receiver, and he excelled it as a rookie, and I think he'll go back to having, really good, a very good season as a slot receiver. And look, he already has a good rapport with Carson from a season ago, over 70 catches, even on another, kind of down year. But still, the two of them seem to have a good rapport with one another. I know he was hurt for part of the season, but good things, right? Caught Carson's first ever touchdown pass, right? So I'm happy he's back in the slot. I think he will excel there, and I'm glad they have a lot of depth at running back. I'm glad they have, a lot of weapons. And again, that doesn't always mean everything, but it's helpful to have. And if we can just find that level of consistency on this offense and keep that. I do believe this team will score more points this season. Obviously, look, you get more weapons. Offensive line has to play well, but I think they have a chance to be a dynamic type of offense, a deep offense, run, pass, balance. That's the one thing that Peterson has to find. That was Andy's biggest issue here, was that balance issue. When they had balance, the offense was one of the best in the league when Andy was here. When he got away from it, it even with the weapons they struggled, right? So you got to have that balance. All right? Balance. I mean, I look at the games last year. When they had balance, they were very successful. They beat the Falcons. The Falcons were mental mistakes away from winning a Super Bowl last year, and the Eagles beat them right here. They had balance in that game. Against the Ravens in Baltimore, I know they lost, a tough one. Against a defense that was very good against the run, the Eagles ran for over 100 yards. Balance. I'm not saying, you just have to run. No. Run, right. Run up, no. You have to have the balance. You can't just run all the time. You can't just pass all the time. But you have to find that fine line and have that balance. The teams that do that are teams that have success in this league. And I think the Eagles could be one of those teams, but they got to find that. Peterson has got to get away from the passing book sometimes and know we have a pretty good run blocking offensive line. And now we got a power back there. So you do want to run the ball more consistently and find that balance. And if they can do that, I think that's going to even help this offense even more. And take pressure off of your young quarterback. I know he's good, and he's going to be good, but take some pressure off. He doesn't have to do it all. Even Brady doesn't do it all. Okay. I mean, look, Aaron had 18 touchdowns a year ago there in New England. So find that balance, and we will have harmony. Defensively, I'm excited for it. And look, not everything's going to be perfect. Look, outside linebacker and corners still, but it's where guys have to just step up, right? Giant fans, did you know anything about Victor Cruz those years ago before the regular season? Who's this guy? Okay, he's looking pretty good in the preseason. Well, here he comes. He becomes a salsa man, right? So sometimes positions are won during this time of year when you have kind of influx and unknowns at times, young youth in those positions. Sometimes those youth are the ones that are going to come up and step up and be the guy. We see it happen with other teams. I see it happen here. It's happened here, in the past too. So, excited for that. Going to be some interesting, position battles to watch this preseason going into the year. But like I said, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to bring another season of Season of the Fan to you, the viewer. I'm hoping to get to one of the open practices. I will not be able to get to the one this weekend, but next weekend, that Sunday, I'm hoping to go with some friends. So I look forward to that. Maybe I'll do some, videographing there. The first year I did it, I know I did, at Lincoln Financial Field with the captain and Mark M, and we took some video there and whatnot, had some fun, so maybe do that again next week from Sunday for the second and final open practice. But I'm looking forward to it. I am. I'm looking forward to this season. Being a fan in this area, with all of our teams, with the rebuilding and the process and everything, it's been tough. It's been very difficult. We've had a couple years without playoffs now for all of our teams. But I will say this, I think the good times are coming. And I'm really excited for the Sixers, and I'm really excited for the Eagles. And, at least, look, I feel, at least as a fan, I feel they're on the right track. Where that track's going to lead, we don't know. I don't have the crystal ball. Okay? But I can just speak from the heart, and I can speak 100 like I always do, and I think they're on the right track to something special. And I say that for the Sixers, too. And I think the Flyers, you know what? I mean, hockey, you can turn things around. You just get the right core, collection of players, it can happen. So I'm excited for that, too. And, of course, the Phillies, I mean, look, they're probably furthest away. But we did see, not too long ago, what happens when you have a collection of young players who come together and boom, next thing you know, they're winning a World Series. Not that it happens all the time, but we do know in this area, we should know what happens when you have a collection of young talent to come together and do something special. We saw it in 2008, and if things continue to go in the right way, I think we're not too far from seeing something similar, perhaps a run like that with our basketball team. Particularly when all the players are moving to the West, right? That's a good thing. More of them. Just, hey, Kyrie, if you want to go to the Spurs or get out of the Eastern Conference, that's yet another piece. That Sixers-Celtics rivalry is coming back, by the way. Ooh. I was too young for that in the 80s, but I'm ready for it now. I'm ready, Boston. All right? No, getting back to the topic at hand, I am excited for this season. I'm excited to bring you yet another, season 4 now of Season of the Fan. Feel free to binge watch the last 3 if you want. I have them all in my channel, on my homepage. You'll find them there under the playlists. So feel free to kind of relive if you want. It's like Netflix, right? You can just sit back some rainy weekend and watch Mighty Fan go through Eagle seasons. I'm not as entertaining as those Marvel shows, but, I try. Anyhow, everyone who watches this video, anyone who watches my series, I thank you. I hope to bring you yet another as interesting as I can be season, being a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles and bringing you yet another season through the eyes of an Eagles fan. I'm hoping that this season ends in a playoff run. Be the first time since I've started this series, if so. My prediction for what the Eagles are going to do, my outlook in the NFC East, even the entire league, I'll have to wait on that. I'll probably have that out after the 3rd preseason game, only because you never know with injuries. I'm not trying to be a cop-out here or anything, but you just never know. And I don't want to, make these great predictions now, and then, we have these, slew of injuries or something occur or whatever, and it's like, So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait till after the 3rd preseason game, because usually the 4th one is, usually the backups are playing. It's like the backup bowl. That 4th preseason game. So I'm just going to wait till after preseason game number 3, which is like a dress rehearsal type of game, before I try to give you my best prediction for the season, what I think the Eagles will do, what I think, how the division shakes out, and also, of course, my wonderful season predictions. I did have Seattle winning the 1 year, though. You have to give me that, right? But anyhow, I digress from that. Again, Season of the Fan, Philadelphia Eagles, Season 4. Season 4 is underway. I may have a couple videos during the preseason. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if some stuff happens, I'll have some videos. But for the most part, maybe just a check-in vid every once in a while like this. I do hope to have a few more. Hope to have an opening for my series. That's something that I haven't done. I would like to do, and I hope to have that as well as one of the new features for 2017-18 Season of the Fan Series 4, Season 4. But I'll probably break out that intro, the new Season of the Fan Philadelphia Eagles intro, before Week 1. So be on the lookout for that. I just have to put something together and get it on the start of these videos to make it a little more official. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching as always, and to all my fellow Eagles fans out there, as always, let's go Birds! Start of a new season, a clean slate, and season number 2 of Peterson, season number 2 of Carson Wentz. Looking forward to it as always this season. I have a feeling it's going to be a fun one. I really do. So, anyone who's going to the open practice on Saturday, have a great time. For anyone who might see me on next Sunday, feel free to say hi. We'll shake hands, and or fist bump or whatever, you know. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and welcome back to football. All right, everyone, take care. I'll see you in the next one.